his back beard. His musky beard.
Your product, basically hard luck. Basically hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Your product, basically hard luck. Basically hard luck. Card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck. Pimps and card shots, thieves, murderers with hard luck.
Good morning and welcome to the Hard Luck Show. I'm your certified, qualified Westside host, Steve Lucky Luciano. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting across from me is my co-host.
Is Chumahan Bone, American Indian, Southern Californian, elegant barbarian, and the lawyer man.
The lawyer man. And the old blue eyes man.
That's right. Sean Lewis, certified audio professional engineer for the Hard Luck Show.
That's right. And we got over here, Big Dick Mike.
Hey, what's up? It's Big Mike. What's happening?
Big Mike.
Big.
Sorry.
Hey, it's the Dick Show.
Yeah.
It's the Dick Show.
What we got going on, it's not that show, but you know what it is? It is the Dick Show.
It
The
is.
biggest dick in the whole fucking North America.
Twinkies.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
The pink.
Oh, he's gonna find out who's got
Is he
the
orange?
biggest.
He's orange.
He's gonna find out who's got the biggest dick in prison. That's what.
Yeah,
he's
he is. At least the prison he's in, right?
Oh yeah. So probably the biggest news story, probably of the year.
Yes.
And probably maybe. I mean, it's a historic event. Nothing
Absolutely.
like this has ever happened in the history. Even Richard Nixon
Yeah, didn't get this.
didn't get charged with a crime. Richard Nixon resigned, got on that sad little helicopter and disappeared into Crookland before they charged him. That was back when the Republicans still had a sense, still had some common decency. And now that this orange sad sack orangutan blowhard has taken over their entire party,
Yeah.
and he has pretty much burned everyone out.
Desecrated everything.
He burned everyone out. Dude, when I came in and we started talking and you're like, is he going to do jail time? And I was like, well, I mean, it's still just and you're like, man, I don't know, bro. I can't. People are tired of thinking that this guy's going to finally be held accountable because he squirmed out of every single fucking thing up until this point. Sean? What?
I just got to adjust the camera.
Oh, go ahead. I mean, do I have that wrong or is that your sense?
No, you have it right, but the fucking guy was a fucking con man before he ever got into presidency, man.
That's
like,
right.
The other thing is this is like when you're shooting for something that might be like, man, you could say, oh, we talked about him wanting to be a fucking FBI or CIA.
CIA, right. Nunchucks.
Or I want to make it into politics, or I want to make it as a government official, or I want to make it into fucking our cabinet, or I want to, these are a Supreme Court judge. I want, what I'm saying? These take lifetimes of work and dedication to maybe be considered for right or wrong?
Completely right.
Right? Somehow, a whole truckload of fucking scumbags got into the presidency, the vice, took over the fucking republic. All these con men wiggled their way up to the top. They made it through all that shit as con men.
That's right.
And then got in
Yep.
and started pulling all these cons. And even while they were doing it, motherfucking Republicans, these fucking, were all, oh yeah. It was all a big con job, man. But the fact that they were able to work their way through all these Ivy League, super educated, conservative, all you motherfuckers got fooled. You're all full of shit. This is our top security matters in the United States. These are the people we trust. All got conned by a bunch of scumbags. And you could look at their history. If you would have vetted any one of these motherfuckers honestly, you would have seen guy's fucking going through bankruptcies, hiring illegal aliens, grabbing chicks in their pussy, like all this stuff. And you guys now, it's a surprise that this guy's got criminal because he's a fucking criminal. That's why he's got criminal charges. He's a fucking liar. Him and his whole fucking gang. Fuck you, all of you.
Dude, I mean, honestly, is there anything left to say after that? That was fucking
wrap
brilliant.
up the show.
All right,
the whole...
thank you.
God damn.
Number one, you're 1,000% correct. Because they've been investigating Trump before he even went into politics. He was under scrutiny because he was always breaking the law or slightly over-exaggerating taxes in a way that he was always under investigation. This guy bankrupted a casino. Who fucks up a casino? They gave it to Indians. Indians don't do any business. We're making that shit work. You give it to this fucking orange prick and he blows it.
He's a fucking lying scumbag.
He's a fraud.
He's a fraud. Fake and a fraud.
He is a fraud who thrives in chaos.
He's a con man.
Yeah.
He's a con man.
And you know what? So is that drunk,
that
loose-lipped, fucking big
got rid of that guy a long time ago. Giuliani, they should have gotten rid of him. He should have never even been married in fucking New York, bro. That guy's been a problem this whole time.
Listen, let me tell you something. Giuliani...
Who partners up with Trump?
Giuliani.
Right.
Right.
Hey, so I don't know if it's for sure, but I've heard they've been having sex.
Listen, let me tell you something.
I have.
No, it's true. Giuliani laid down on a bed.
Both of their fucking hairs are flapping their fucking
their hair had children.
Yeah.
They got little fur balls.
Comb overs are fucking.
Comb over fuck fest.
Come over.
Exactly.
Come over, let me
Slicking
comb
each
over.
other's hair.
Yeah.
There's a photo of Giuliani in drag and Trump, and they're laughing and whatever, and this is the same party that's trying to ban trans anything.
Right.
This is how inverted and upside down these
Wasn't that
motherfuckers
other
are.
dude also in drag? Who's the other one?
Which one?
There was another guy that got in drag. The guy that everybody's clowning.
Santos from Texas,
I
right?
mean, come on.
Dude, they had him full on in it like
his name was like Matilda.
Right.
Down in Brazil.
So, do you see what a lie it all is?
Right.
It's all a big fucking lie. These people are all full of shit. I don't care if you went to fucking motherfucking I don't care what fucking school you went to and prep school and this and fucking I went to masters and all this that shit.
Yeah.
Smartest guys in the fucking United States, all up in this motherfucker, all got conned, are all full of shit.
Yeah.
That's how I see it, man.
Well, okay. And you're not wrong.
So, motherfuckers.
When you go back, right?
Yeah.
This is why what you just said, smartest guys in the room, skull and bones. You know, me and Skeeter did summer camp at fucking Harvard.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
All
yeah,
those
yeah.
fuckers.
Chet and Kip.
Oh, yeah. Chad.
Yeah.
Okay. Chaz. These motherfuckers, right?
Ken.
They got soft. They got soft. They got so soft that even Trump himself didn't think he was going to win the presidency. Right? At first, it was a gag. It was Trump was like, look, I'm on fucking...
Yeah, like Kanye.
Best branding opportunity of all time.
And he accidentally won.
And then he accidentally won. Because he found out that nobody had dicks. He found out it's smooth Ken doll shit all over the place.
Everywhere.
So, right, and even Hillary, and even the people around Hillary. Now, look, however you want to fucking say she's crooked, she's not crooked, or whatever, nobody doubts that she's smart, and nobody doubts that she's mean as shit, right? She shouldn't have lost to Trump. She did. She did. She fucking lost to that clown. And she was married. She should never have lost. She was married to one of the most popular presidents of all time. She was a senator from New York and then actually sat as Secretary of State, right? She fucking lost to this idiot. She blew it. And in that, what that tells me is exactly what you said. These people that are supposed to be gatekeepers were fucking shit keepers.
Yep.
They were sleeping on the job,
Yep.
and they got their fucking asses handed to them.
And that's why I say I'm glad that this has left a big shit stain on the Republican Party. Fucking people should have fucking vetted out who the fuck you're bringing in, or taken an honest look, or listened to everybody around that was telling everybody, this dude's not the fucking truth.
Or have a backbone and just say, fuck it, I'll stand up. And you know who did?
Right. Yeah.
McCain did.
Right.
Yeah. One guy, McCain was like, fuck that. And you know who else? And I don't like him.
With the Mormon guy.
Mitt Romney. Remember, Mitt Romney came out. He put that Brill cream and jelly donuts down his pants. And he came out and he said, listen, this guy's no businessman. Mm-hmm. I'm a businessman. I've been in corporate America sucking the lifeblood of people like a real vampire. This is a fake vampire. I know. I'm in the backroom deals. He's nowhere near there. The guy's getting golden showers in Moscow. What are you doing? Right?
He's having dudes piss on him in Moscow.
So, right? So
that's his fucking what he's up to.
So then when he gets into the presidency, now think about this. Really put your mind on this. Everything you said is right. 1,000%. Now imagine you're Barack Obama, the first African-American president in the world, and you're a two-term president. You won a re-election against a real opponent. You fucking handled a ton of shit. I mean,
now you got this fucking clown stumbling up into the place, drunk.
Reeking like vodka.
Yeah. Fuck.
Dude. And it's the rules. It's the rules. You can't cry about it now. That's why he couldn't believe. He was kind of like chuckling, like, what the fuck? I thought we were going to get like at least like a real, like, smart racist. Like, okay, I get it. I'm a black president. You guys got pissed off. I thought you were going to put somebody good up in here. And this is what you come up with? This boiled-faced fuckhead? And he trashes everything. Now look.
Ruins everything.
Now look it. The thing that's crazy about this whole thing is he's the president. Now, he's got already shit swirling in the bowl. It's already hunks of turds just smearing on the bowl already. But because he's the president, and it's one of the weirdest things, you can't criminally try a sitting president for whatever reason. And it has nothing to do with Trump. It's a rule that kind of like came down. So he knows he's protected by the White House while the 4 years that he's in there. Now, you got to remember, you got to really think about this, right? The case that just came up and bit off his nutsack is an old case. It's an old case. This is a case that the Department of Justice was prosecuting. The federal agency was prosecuting. They put Michael Cohen in jail. They caught him. And in those charging documents, they refer to individual number one. Who's that? Trump. But they couldn't come out and say it. Why? Because there's a rule against prosecuting the president while he's sitting there. They spent thousands of man hours slowly collecting evidence. And what's it all about? At the end of the day, right? He paid $130,000 to his attorney, Michael Cohen, to reimburse him because Michael Cohen had paid the Inquirer to go and purchase Stormy Daniels' fucking story so she couldn't tell it anywhere else, right? So he could run for president. Tried to influence a campaign. That's influencing a campaign. But Trump thought because it was behind the lawyer, and he thought because of attorney-client privilege and all that horse shit, right? He thought, done deal, pal. Nobody can know nothing about it. And the problem is that you can't use an attorney to commit fraud. If you're fighting a fraud case, and you've already been charged, and your attorney and you are talking about the facts of the case, well, they can't bring your attorney. But if you're using the privilege to commit fraud, that's an exception to the rule. And they go to the judge, and they go into the judge's chambers, which is his office, where all these fucking cigars are. And they show in private to the judge, this is what we think is going on. Here's the evidence. The judge looks at that and makes a determination. Yeah, this is being used for fraud. This is not legit defense shit. And that's what happened to Trump. And Michael Cohen went away. He went away for a couple years. Everyone around this fucking Trump has gone to prison. Roger Stone. Michael Flynn, Michael Cohen, and some other fuckface. Manafort. Paul Manafort went to jail. All of these assholes also, by the way, had relationships with cocksuckers in Russia.
Right.
I mean, what the fuck? All right. So what does Trump do? Because this thing is getting legs. So it doesn't matter. He's the president. It's now creeping up. And the Department of Justice, right? So they call it the Southern District of New York. But all that means is the federal DA in New York, okay? The federal DA in New York, they all hate Trump. Real lawyers hate Trump because he's an asshole and he doesn't pay his bills. So real lawyers are like, fuck that guy. So they're going after him. And they're getting close. So what does Trump do? Because he's the president, he has the right to install the head of the Department of Justice. He has that right. And because he's getting close to being caught, he puts Bill Barr as the head of the Department of Justice. And Bill Barr comes in and shuts it all down from the top. And if you remember, there was district attorneys that were like quitting in protest because they're like, that's fucking bullshit. We were on the case. We just locked up Michael Cohen. And now you put in this fat beaver-faced asshole and you're just shutting it down because he's the president? That's not, if you're going to have rules, you got to play by them, and you're not doing it. Ha 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 ha. Tough titty, said the kitty. So they shut it all down. They even tried to reverse Michael Cohen's conviction. Think about that. They tried to reverse Michael Cohen's conviction so it wouldn't lead on further down to Trump. Because Michael Cohen was the only one that could testify and say what he and Trump talked about and what Trump knew was going on with these money to influence a campaign that he didn't list properly. Now this thing's dead in the water. Right? It's the turd sandwich floating down the river. Now, Trump can't be convicted only by federal prosecutors while he's the sitting president. But the Constitution and all those rules don't apply to the state, which means that the state of New York's district attorney can pick the case up, and Trump can't do shit about it. He can't get Bill Barr. He's got no power over the state attorneys. And that's exactly what they did. And they fucking got a grand jury, which they do. That's the American system. That's how it's always been. They bring in and they do grand juries specifically in cases of politicians and corruption because they have rules to protect the secrecy. So this politician can't know what's going on and start fucking with shit before it gets going. And that's exactly what they did. And if you recall, like, it starts coming together. They get that guy Pecker from the Inquirer. That's the guy who did the deals with Trump. They're buddies. They got him to come in and testify to the grand jury. He came in twice. The first time he came in, it was about Stormy Daniels. This first thing, right? And Trump's legal strategy to fight the case was, look, Michael Cohen will say whatever to protect his skin. He's a scumbag. He's a lawyer. You can't trust that. I didn't know anything, right? And I think Trump, because he's been in New York for so long and he's friends with drunk Giuliani, he must have people who can tell him where the investigation is at, where the prosecution is at. He must be able to test the temperature. How close are they to an indictment? And what is the indictment going to look like? Has to be, right? Okay. This Bragg, the DA, this African-American Harvard-trained district attorney, Bragg, who grew up in Harlem. This guy and his team must have known that because they put bad information into the wire. Had to have. Because what happens is Pecker goes down and testifies. Then Bragg in his office contact Trump's attorneys to start talking about how are we going to do, how will he come in and surrender? all that shit, right? And then the police in New York start putting up barricades. So seems like an indictment's is going to happen, imminent. And that's when Trump comes out on Tuesday. Before anybody said anything, goes, I'm going to be indicted on Tuesday. Death and destruction. Like, whoa, we'll see, right? And I honestly think he thought there was going to be an indictment. I think he also understood that the district attorney, Bragg, had a second woman. And there is a second woman, Karen McDougal. There's a second woman. And I think he was trying to socially or whatever pressure Bragg into wrapping up the case and filing the charges now. That's what I think that was about. And Bragg sat on it. Didn't say shit. It was quiet. And you remember Trump was like, and then the week went by and there was no indictment. And then Trump was like, oh, all right. He has his rally in Waco, which is on the 30th anniversary of when FBI went in there and burned the shit out of David Koresh, right? Think about that. What does that mean? Why is he doing? Okay. And then you find out that Pecker went in and testified one more time. About what? You also find out that the attorney for his chief financial officer or whatever, they changed attorneys. Now it's no longer Trump's attorneys, somebody else. And nobody knows if his chief financial officer went in, because his chief financial officer is in prison. Nobody knows if he went and testified in front of the grand jury. And then, right, Trump
You get some time knocked off.
And then Trump fucking says at Waco, because it's been silent, and they got this pre-planned 30-day break for the grand jury. So it looks like nothing's going to happen at least for another month. And so Trump says, yeah, I think the DA dropped the charges. Right? He hinted to his followers that he flexed his racist Southern muscles, and Bragg kind of flinched. And then, couple minutes on Thursday before the courts closed, they filed the indictments. And it's like reported to be 34 counts of business fraud. 34 motherfucking accounts of business fraud.
How much time does each one of those counts?
Reportedly 1 to 4 years.
For each one?
I think so, yeah. I mean, it's rare. Listen, it's rare. This is usually like white collar bullshit crime, right? Okay, it's rare probably. Most times people pay a fine. And you got to remember.
The mob don't.
His corporate.
The mob, they lock up and give them all sorts of
So a lot of people are saying this is like Al Capone. Where, did they really arrest him for the tax shit? I mean, was that really the reason why they locked him up? No. But that was the only thing they could get him on.
Right.
And they put the max in there. So with Trump, now he's facing 30. Now look, the weirdest thing about this whole thing is that his opponent, Ron DeSantis. Now, Trump moved to Florida. He lives in Florida. He's in Florida right now. Mar-a-Lago, Melania. Her clit throbs when she's down here.
She wants nothing to do with that motherfucker either.
No, they like...
She's like miserable with this motherfucker. She's like, I fucked up. I ruined my whole life. I had kids with this motherfucker.
Either that. I don't know
what
what
is she thinking about.
I think, no. She's an Eastern Bloc woman, dude.
Right.
His first wife was under investigation by the FBI for 20 years
Ivanka?
because she was from Czechoslovakia. So the FBI was looking at her as probably an asset of some kind. And I guarantee that Melania, some people think she's the Red Sparrow. She's handling this fuckface. She don't want to fuck him, but she's
handling him.
She's Russia's.
She's Putin's girl.
Yeah.
Putin put her on her.
Putin. And so,
right.
Okay, so he's in Florida, right? So he's indicted in New York. Right. Ron DeSantis is the governor of Florida. And when Trump's lawyer said, okay, he'll surrender this next Tuesday, Ron DeSantis said, we won't cooperate.
Listen, guys, just so everybody knows, cookies and an awful lot of cough syrup have a collaboration. Awful lot of cookies. Goes down on the 8th at the Melrose store, 12 to 2. I got to leave right now because I got a photo shoot with Desto Dub. So I'm going to say goodbye to everybody right now. Do not fuck up the show, guys. All right? Papa's going to leave. Listen to Chuman. Do not fuck up the show. You guys are going to let my team follow this up. I'll be listening from the car because I wish I didn't have to leave. I want to hear the rest of this.
Yeah. All right. Listen, have a good shoot.
Thank you.
And
You guys are the best.
we'll do our best not to fuck this up. Oh, shit. And that's on YouTube, Big Pick Mike.
Thank you, buddy.
You better clean those glasses.
I know, man. They're fucked
Jesus
up.
Christ.
Jesus Christ, man.
Look like you're in a special school or something.
Well, I am.
Are you? They don't allow you to use any sharp objects or pencils, do they? All right. Look, but going back. So, think about this. Think about... Now, Ron DeSantis was his opponent up till just about 2 days ago, and now all of a sudden the governor of Florida... Because when they do an extradition from another state to another state, the governor has to sign the warrant. Now, what happens if Ron DeSantis makes good on what he said and says, yeah, I'm not going to sign that? What the fuck happens then? New York's indicted him. Ron DeSantis isn't going to cooperate.
That's a lot of friction.
Problem that could happen?
Yeah, that could happen.
That's a lot of friction. Like between... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, it's just like they want to indict him, but then the state of Florida is like, no. Or Santos is telling him, no, it's not going to happen. So what, does that cause speculation? Like, would you have been in cahoots with each other? Like, are you in my pocket? That's what I'm hearing.
Well, yeah, but think about this. What happens if the federal government has to go in and get Trump? Right? Like, Trump's got what they call a patriot moat around Mar-a-Lago. Meaning, like, there's all these crazy Florida man people with flags saying Trump forever around his mansion. So imagine that federal troops got to go in, marshals have to go in and serve the warrant and physically grab Trump out of Mar-a-Lago and drag his ass to New York.
That'll be a scene.
Well, I hope a bunch of Southerners don't all go down to Mar-a-Lago with their guns.
It's what's going to happen.
Well, you can only imagine what they did on Capitol Hill. Imagine that his estate.
Oh, man.
You know, that so devout towards him. You know, they're like, you're not going to take our guy anywhere. I don't care if you're the federal, if you're the Fed or not. You're not going to take him.
I mean, the same type of people that would smear shit in the Capitol building would be the same kind of people that are going to say, no way, dude, we ain't moving.
You're right.
Dude, I'm telling you.
It's like so devout. It's like, it's unbelievable how devout people will be.
For a guy that doesn't care anything about them.
Fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit.
So, but my point is like, he's not going to share any. The biggest con of all is racist, rich, white people will not share what they steal from people of color with the poor whites. That's the biggest con. They always tell these guys, we'll let you in on it. You're going to get some. Don't you worry. We got it. We're in this together, people. And then when it comes time to really divide the spoils, it turns into a fucking, Mar-a-Lago, and you better have enough money to get into the front door. Otherwise, you ain't getting in.
Right.
But then these same fools will go down and defend that with guns and flags and destroy their families, right? They're no longer invited to Thanksgiving. They won't fucking follow any COVID protocols. They won't get vaccinated. They will not do any of that shit, but they'll go down to Florida, circle the wagons with guns, and try to fire on the first person that serves a warrant on a legitimate crook. And look, the guy's not even guilty yet. He's going to be afforded all the protections of the law. He's going to get to plead. He's going to get to fucking have his lawyers. He's going to get to cross-examine. He's going to get to do all that shit. And they're screaming bloody murder, but he hasn't even made a plea yet. And if he does surrender, he's going to have to get fingerprinted, mugshot, cheek swabbed. Now.
So wait a minute.
Go ahead.
What if he doesn't surrender?
That's what I'm saying. That's the warrant.
So were they going to have to send the FBI down there?
I think they would. I don't know what the procedure is between two states, because right now it's this.
Well, if DeSantis is like, I'm not extraditing him.
Right. So New York
It's going
State,
to have to be FBI, right?
So it's probably going to be a marshal, federal marshal.
Right, okay.
So you have New York State versus Florida State.
Right.
They have equal power. So who you would have to probably get the marshal to go in, serve the warrant, and drag him out of that spider hole like they did Saddam.
Wow, man.
I'm hoping they've talked to Trump's attorneys, and Trump's attorney said he'll surrender.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll avoid all that.
Yeah, they probably will. He doesn't want that smoke.
I don't know, man. He's a con man, dude. So you never know. He could I don't want to be extradited, so he'll go through the gamut of blocking as much as he can before they even pull him.
Now look you can run for president while you're under indictment. Rick Scott did that from Texas. He was under indictment for some kind of flim flam bullshit. He was running for the Republican Party, he was doing all that. But the point being though, think about this. He's going to have to go in and get cheeks. Now, here's another thing. He's also got a civil case against him. And the civil case is based on defamation by this woman. He defamed her. And civil rape. She claims he raped her.
Wow.
In a coat room in New York. She's a gossip columnist, well known. Her career was ruined. And
when was this?
I don't know.
80s, 90s?
Yeah, something like that. And what happened was in New York, they did a 1-year statute of limitations revive law because everybody was they got sexually assaulted, but the statute of limitations or nobody could do anything. So New York said, okay, for 1 year right now, all comers. If you got a case, no matter how old, statute of limitations be damned. And within 10 minutes, she filed her case.
Wow.
Civil rape.
What's civil rape? What does that mean?
It just means rape, right? But he's not going to jail. So she's going to get money damages for non-consensual touching, which is battery in a sense. It's basically same thing as getting punched. You can't get punched in this. You can sue for that. One of the key issues in that case is that they have a sample of the DNA of the person who raped her.
Ooh. So you're saying the DNA swab.
And they asked for a DNA sample from Trump and his lawyers refused to provide it.
Wow.
So if he does get swabbed, it could be possible that they could get a copy of that swab and match it.
Suck, man.
That's where that guy's at. Listen. So the House of Representatives, right? The usual idiots, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, and Kevin McCarthy are screaming bloody murder, witch hunt, America's being destroyed. They're saying we're now a third world country, but it's the opposite. Any country that can hold any of their leaders accountable through the process of law means you're a first world country. That's what that means. In third world countries or in countries where it's a kangaroo court, you don't get to bring this guy in for fucking whatever. And they do it all the time in Europe. And quite frankly, even in New York, I can't remember which pundit was saying it, but it's true. Politicians get indicted for crimes. Remember Blagojevich? Chicago Blagojevich?
Oh, yeah.
The guy with the fucked up hair? Remember that guy?
He sold the seat to somebody?
Yeah.
During
Barack Obama's fucking administration or whatever it was.
Crazy.
Yeah, he's sold it for $100K. He was like, yeah, and he had that crazy hair. And they're like, you're going to jail. And he was like, okay, that's fine. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
And he went to jail. It wasn't the end of the world. It wasn't the end of whatever. So they're screaming all that.
I wonder what kind of other shit he did. If he tried to pull that shit off, I wonder what other kind of shit he was doing that they never caught him for.
It's got to be so dirty at every level, at that level. Well, I mean, one thing that I was looking at too, right, that everyone seems to forget is so Jim Jordan, okay, he's a Republican. He's in the House. Hillary, Monica, thank God they didn't have these charges when I was spraying that dress.
That woman.
You know what his problem is? he's fucking around with women that are too hot. That's the problem. You got to take a page out of my book. If they're chubby, you don't get in trouble. Chubby, no trubby. If they're out of your league, that's what gets them pissed. You got to go for the lobsters with the meat in the tail. You know what I mean? No, but the issue is, so Jim Jordan, right? He's coming to the aid of Trump, right? He's like, this is a travesty. And they're trying to subpoena at the federal court. They're trying to subpoena the district attorney, Alvin Bragg.
Wow.
And Alvin Bragg is like, yeah, you're interfering with the state criminal prosecution. You've got no business here. You don't just, the same party that's all about states' rights, they have no problem setting these people up to try to use the federal power to fuck up a state prosecution.
Wow.
And more importantly, though, and this is what's really galling, Jim Jordan was a wrestling coach at OSU, and he has been investigated and charged and sued because at minimum he had knowledge of the male sexual assault routinely visited upon the wrestlers under his care by a one Dr. Strauss.
Dr. Strauss? Who's that?
The university's doctor. You know how in LA and USC you had that doctor that was like assaulting all the women?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, at OSU, it was a guy assaulting guys.
Oh, shit.
A male doctor. And the wrestlers complained to Jim Jordan directly when he was the coach. And like, why is the doctor always like hanging
Putting
out?
a finger in my ass.
Hanging out in the shower. The doctor tried to go in and shower with the wrestlers all the time.
Fuck, man.
I mean, have you ever heard of such a thing?
Nah, man. That's a fucking... Jeez, crying.
Like he's like lurking around the locker room trying to look at junk. Like people are like, why is he looking?
Crazy.
He would never put his eyes above waist level. He was always just scanning for huevos, man. Everywhere, huevos.
With a lather up soap.
There was even formalized complaints because wrestlers would go in. One wrestler went in with a bloody nose, and Dr. Strauss like examined the nose and then said, I'm going to have to examine your genitals.
Oh, shit.
And the guy's like, my nose is broken, bro. He's like, no, this is routine.
Cough.
That's not my genitals, sir. You're going a little further back. This is medicine. I'm the professional. Just relax. You might like it. Dr. Strauss. And they would tell this. Another guy went in for a thumb, and the doctor tried to convince that wrestler to take his pants off. And the wrestler left. He's like, dude, it's my thumb. Fuck you. Like, what do you mean take off my pants? And so...
Are you being serious?
Look it up right now. Go on your thing and check Jim Jordan's sexual allegations.
And you're telling me someone really came in for a thumb and he wanted to...
Yes. And as soon as I saw this story.
Like,
and so Jim Jordan runs for... He's like a rep now. And he is pretending like it's all made up and he didn't know anything about it. So he's silent about a pervy doctor that was like accosting wrestlers. But when Trump, who also is a confessed sexual predator, he says he just, grabs women in their...
He said he grabs them and kisses them.
Right. Says he moves in on them like a bitch. Whatever that... Why did he say that?
I don't know.
Do you remember? It's like a weird thing. Yeah, I moved in on her like a bitch.
Just grab him by the pussy.
They love it. I just move in on them like a bitch. Like, what does that mean?
I don't know.
I have no idea what that
There's
means,
like a weird gender confusion there. Something's bizarre with that, right? Like, I move in on him. Like, what is he talking about? Anyway, so yeah, that's who's coming to Trump's aid is Jim Jordan. You remember when it used to just be the Catholic Church that would be silent about sexual predators?
Yeah,
man.
Remember that? Now
the good old days.
it's like fucking all these Republicans and people trying to protect Trump. So the other thing that's weird about it is that Lindsey Graham got interviewed
Oh, great.
Oh, no.
on Hannity about this whole thing. And and everybody is like, dude, what happened? He was like almost in tears crying and begging people to send money to Trump to help him fight these lies. And I think it's really, how is this guy a senator? I mean, is there any question in anyone's mind that Trump has photos of him?
He's got to
like on a nude Brazilian camping trip with men, just, getting reamed from behind and in the face by just gigantic Samoan men. Like, how is it that he's doing that? Let's see if I can.
They shot down our drone.
Hold on, let me see if I can get to this.
They shot down our drone.
Lindsey Graham, and he looks like he's been crying all night. So, Trump is probably like, look, if I get convicted, I'm releasing all the photos of everybody.
Like, what kind of guy is named Lindsey?
That's what I'm saying. Lindsey Graham. Let's see if I got this. Let's see if this will come through. Anyway, this is probably and this is only one of the 4 cases against Trump. There's an indictment. It's getting to be goddamn. It's getting to be goddamn.
We found another guy with Republican Senator
Why
Lindsey
does everyone
on
have
Fox
to
News
talk?
last night.
I'm trying to get to just the fucking music.
It does.
I see a headline from the Boston Globe. Lindsey Graham on the verge of tears.
Crap, and he chop it up 34 times.
34 times.
Listen to this guy.
You got a pile of crap and he chop it up 34 times, it's still a pile of crap.
And he ought to know. He spends a lot of time with crap.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Is he from Kentucky? What the fuck?
Yeah, he's like from, I don't know, Virginia. He's from the South.
Good God.
How is the Southerners don't know he's gay? Like, how is that? How can you be voting for anti-gay rights, but you vote for Lindsey Graham as a senator?
He's from South Carolina.
That explains
South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
You eat enough of that the South Carolina barbecue.
Yeah.
That's what you end up like.
Boy,
If you got a pile of crap and he chop it up 34 times, it's still a pile of crap. It's duplicious charging.
I think by duplicitous.
It's duplicious.
It's duplicious charging.
If you chop up a pile of crap 34 times, it's still a pile of crap. I ought to know because that's what I did. That's what I did. I got a badge in the Boy Scouts for chopping up crap.
Fucking these guys are fucking train wreck.
How is it that these guys have any money?
Do it. You take if you got a pile of crap and you chop it up 34 times, it's still a pile of crap. It's duplicious charging. They're trying to smear the guy. They're trying to take cases that nobody else would take and resurrect them. This is literally legal voodoo.
Legal voodoo. It's just wild. Legal voodoo. And then at some point he starts begging listeners to like send money. Like, it's almost as if it's one of those infomercials for underprivileged kids in Africa where you're like, send your money to poor Donald.
So what's weird about Lindsey Graham is he called, like back when he was running for president, he called him a jackass.
Right.
And then what happened?
I think Trump opened up the folder of photos and said, look, there's you. There's the Samoan men.
Well, the question I have is like, why are you running to his defense all of a sudden? Like,
because he can't have all this shit come out.
Right. That's what I was going to get to. It's like, everybody's got to be hiding something, man. You know what I mean? Just to go to his aid. All of a sudden you call him a jackass years ago. Now you're aiding his defense. It's like, don't indict him. It's like, what? There's more things behind the picture. Like you said, what are you guys hiding? Like, what information do I have on you? If the dime drops on me, if this shit hits the fan with me, I'm letting everything out the bag. And that's what it sounds like to me.
Right.
But that's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, tell us, Big Pick Mike, now, can you please sort of give us an indication now? Everyone's on the edge of their seat. They want to know, like, where are we headed with this? What do you predict is the future of Trump? How is this all going to shake out?
I think he'll fucking get his way out of it. Because that's what he's done all his life.
Right?
Even with the state of New York and like with real estate deals and he's gone bad, can't make payments. He knows how to get away out of a jam.
So you think he's actually going to get out of this?
I wouldn't give him, I'd give him half a chance. No, I just like, that's his character. He knows how to get out of a fucking jam. I mean, that's my gut telling me I'm not gonna indict him for shit, and it's all gonna go underneath the table, man.
Hold on a second. Let's get down to the real question.
For sure.
Okay. What is the biggest woman you've ever been with?
500 pounds.
No, don't play
No,
games.
the biggest woman I have, seriously, 300.
What's that like?
I don't know. Fucking that shit wore me out.
Hard luck show.
Vibes paper. Cookies. Supermax hardware. Shout out Stevan Oreo. Who else we shouting out? Obanda Bowen. We bring the Braves to court. Oh, Blue Eyes.
www.hardluckshow.com. Please go over, check us out. Mercado tab, all that good stuff.
Oh shit! Listen, let me ask you a question, Big Hook Mike.
Go ahead.
All right, Steve's never gonna leave the show ever again now because it's gone off the rails in a good way. What if we did some kind of pay-per-view or like Patreon or Gumroad thing where we put together a show that you can only listen to if you pay, and we go blow by blow on the 300-pound woman that wore you out?
Let's do it.
Would you do that?
Fucking yeah, I got nothing to hide.
And we'll split the money with you.
Whatever. 70-30. You get 30%, I get 70. That's cool.
Well, listen, I'm going to be hitting fucking sound effects and shit.
Word, okay.
But it's got to be like, you can't hold anything back.
I won't. I don't hold anything back.
If you go and you pull their panties down and cornbread fell out, you got to tell us.
With honey butter. I have nothing to hide, man.
Like if you had to do like smelling salts to wake up or whatever, I want the full. Will you do it?
Yes, I will.
Pay per view, Big Pick Mike, the 300-pounder, no holds barred.
Whatever you need done, brother.
No, but dude, you're gonna make some on. Dude, I'm telling you right now, Sean. You're a media guy. What do you think?
I love it. I want to hear it. Let's put it up.
All right, are you down?
I'm down. Let's go.
Hot damn. Well, look, Big Lux, I'm sorry, but we now have a barn burner. The end of the Trump show, we just stepped into gold. All right, anyway.
300-pound gold. Oh, shit.
I wish that I could get that as a sound drop. 300-pound gold. Wore me out. My dick looked like pancake batter at the end of that thing. She wanted to get on top. I fucking broke my hip.
Fucking suffocated.
That's how I lost my toe. Cut the blood off to my leg.
Circulation.
I felt like Tom Cruise on Born on the 4th of July.
Avonda Bowen, LLP.
I was really
sweating grease.
Court at the Tomahawks Fly.
Her breasts smelled
The
like bacon.
best legal representation that money can purchase.
Woo! Well, foreplay was a blueberry donut.
Man, they call her Mandeca.
Like we do about this time. Adios, amigos. From the Hard Luck Show.
Was it where am I? Am I in the hospital?
Yeah, definitely. I just know that's all we do too. Just press and step on the